Hello, everyone. This is Dan Gramza, and welcome to dangramza.com Market Studies for Monday, October 6th. Well, the way we finished up on Friday here in the S&P is very interesting. Before we get into that, if you haven't seen the videos before, this is the daily chart. And we're looking at swing trades. That's the underlying concept. The idea is to try to capture a little bit of movement that we see in this market. If you see a dash line like the dash green, that's a buy level, happened earlier in the week. Same thing for that sell. Red is sell. If it's a solid line, that means that's active. So on Friday, this market traded just a couple ticks. It's hard to see here, but it did trade below that sell line, and it closed higher. So that means a short side of that market is underwater. It's unprofitable as we go into the weekend. The dollar difference, well, down here, the dollar difference from that buy to that sell level is $1,050 a contract. Up here, the difference between the buy and sell level is $1,100 a contract. I'm giving you that just so you have an idea of the magnitude of change in these contracts. Now, at dangramza.com, you can go back over 10 years to look at how these lines have changed over time. Well, what about the NASDAQ market? And what we see here in the NASDAQ market, again, that buy sell level here for that market is, what did I do? Oh, there it is. That is $560 a contract. Between the buy and sell level here in that market, that is $3,200 a contract. It implies weakness on Monday. A sideways move wouldn't be surprising. You know, we got a government shutdown, and there's a lot of uncertainty with that. This is the Dow that we're looking at here. Dollar difference down here, $215 a contract. Inside day is expected. Here is the Russell, small to mid-cap stocks, very interesting in terms of its structure. Dollar difference down here, $250 a contract. Down day on Monday is expected. But remember, fundamentals can develop here over the weekend. This also tells us something about how the market is holding itself, positioning itself going into the weekend. The euro tried to firm up a bit, so a weaker US dollar, stronger euro, but this implies a sideways move in that market. The sell to buy level in the euro, that dollar difference there, just again to give you a reference, is $850 a contract. Let's move on. In the Swissy, dollar difference between the sell to buy level right down there, that difference is $875 a contract. Sideways move is what we're looking for. A bullish bias, but I'm not sure the fundamentals are there. The Japanese yen is in the same boat as well. A dollar difference here between that red line to this green line is $837.50. The green line here to the red line, and again, that traded just a couple ticks below that sell level. It closed underwater, a losing position. The dollar difference here in that market is $775 a contract. Aussie dollar difference here between the buy and sell level, $190 a contract. This is bullish. It implies an up day on Monday. British pounds in the same boat. That also implies a move to the upside. Dollar difference buy to sell level, $187.50. And again, it has a bullish bias. Ooh, what about our friend here, the Canadian dollar? In this market, the dollar difference, that sell to buy level, is $560 a contract. The difference here between the sell and buy level is $160 a contract. I'm looking for a sideways move in that market. Bitcoin continues higher as that market marches along. Dollar difference, the sell to buy level here, again, just to give you a reference, is $9,225 a contract. Let's move on right here. That sell to buy level is what we're talking about. Buyers are here. Be careful. This is where we found sellers before. In the 10-year notes, yields moved up, and that means prices come down. That's what I call a false sense of security structurally in that market. That's kind of a Dan thing. But $1,231.25 is the dollar difference here in that market. Let's look at the 30-year bonds. How about that one? Now, that also traded below its sell level, closed below its sell level. That's $531.25. Further movement to the downside, that's what it implies. Over here in the gold market, this is also an interesting one. The anticipation is for a move to the upside. That's what we're seeing here in this market structurally. And if it doesn't move higher, then look for a sideways move. This is not necessarily bearish in that market. Dollar difference here, sell to buy level buy to sell level here. That dollar difference is $5,200 a contract. Silver also working its way higher. This market, buyers are present. Volatility favors a move to the upside in that market. Copper continues higher. I'm suspect of it, but be careful here. I think the fundamentals are shaky. When it comes to crude oil, this market broke. We have a few different levels here. I'll just give you a couple. It's $1,400 up here, and this buy to sell level there is where was that? $1,740 a contract. Inside day is what we're looking for. Nat gas, that market did trade below its sell level. That's $1,200 a contract. Bullish bias. Be careful here on the short side. I don't think the fundamentals support a big rally, and I feel the same way about soybeans. Mr. Bean, I can see it backing off as opposed to going higher. Corn in the same boat. Dollar difference here, sell to buy level, $250 a contract. And in wheat, that sold off a bit on Friday. A break to the downside, I think, in that market would make sense. Fundamentally, we got the wheat market is actually pretty good. The dollar difference sell to buy level, $400 a contract. Well, those are my thoughts for today. Thank you for joining me. Look forward to being with you again. And as always, take care.